Perfect. All right, now we are being recorded. And it'll be uploaded on our website to our Let's Talk Business library, where you can find other presentations on various topics of interest. I'm just going to run through really quickly some of the resources that the WCWB has to offer. And one of those resources that we have is our Business Enterprise Startup Training called BEST. It's an 8-week business startup program where you will actually go through it's live led, so an instructor will be there with you, guiding you and supporting you as you build out your business plan. So it's 8 weeks, and the whole course is $395, which includes your live plan subscription. Our next program is actually starting on March 23rd. If you're located in Olympia or Lacey, we have scholarships available, and then we also do payment plans. So if you didn't want to pay everything up front, reach out to me and we can organize something that works out for you. And if you need any other additional information, go ahead and reach out. I'll give you email information at the end. Another one of our resources is a no-cost business coaching. Right now, we're currently scheduling coaching sessions over Zoom or the phone, but when we get back to the office, we'll eventually start having in-person coaching sessions again. Coaching topics can include startup assistance, business plan writing, marketing, and operations. We currently have 2 coaches, myself, and we also have a CPA who specializes in accounting and finances. So she's pretty amazing, really helpful with any, financial documents that you might have to prepare or taxes. So definitely reach out if you are interested in the no-cost coaching. The WCWB is located in the Thurston EDC and CBNI in the SPSCC Lacey campus. And in the Thurston EDC, we have a number of partner organizations that assist entrepreneurs and business owners at various stages of business. We work with the Small Business Development Center, the SBDC, which provides free business counseling to organizations, and they're usually working with businesses that have already started or in early stages. The Washington Procurement Technical Assistance Center, or PTAC, helps organizations to contract with city, state, and federal governments. So if you have a product or a service that you think that you can sell to the government, reach out. We can get you connected with someone over at PTAC because they can help you pursue those types of contracts. Mentorship program. So if you're interested in mentorship, this is another no-cost service. It's typically provided by retired business individuals that are volunteering to assist entrepreneurs and small businesses. And we also have our own version of Shark Tank. So if any of you have seen Shark Tank, this is a group of 40 local investors who are interested in investing in local Washington businesses. And just like on Shark Tank, your business would come in and propose their idea and make a presentation, and then the investors would come back and return with pretty difficult questions. They're looking for businesses that have high growth potential. And then located over at St. Martin's is our Lacey Makerspace. We like to call it the Inventors Workshop. You can create prototypes there. If you're just looking to get creative, they have a lot of tools that we might not have access to otherwise. So you can check out their website. They have daily drop-ins, or you can do different types of memberships. And if you are interested in pursuing any more of the services, there we go. I'm gonna let's see. So you can check out our calendar if you're interested in any of our other services, and email us over at info@wcwb.org or give us a call. And without further ado, I'm gonna stop sharing and pass it over to Felicia.
Yeah, so let me, so I'm just jumping in?
Yep, all yours.
Okay. All right. So I want to welcome you all. It is an absolute delight to be here with you this afternoon. And if you are so inclined, Estella, I really appreciate you having your camera off. I'm going to invite you all, if you would be willing to allow yourself to be seen, to turn your cameras on and let yourself really participate in this. This is one of those trainings. Thank you, Beth. That we're going to talk about what is coming most alive in you, and And it's that, thank you, Angie, and I appreciate that you're in your car, and that you're here. That the way we do one thing is the way we do everything, right? And so as you step in and fully engage, that we're sending a signal to this life force energy around us that you're in for this. And I get to see your face. All right, so let me share my screen and let's get going with this. So as we get started this afternoon, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me as we go through this. As we get started, right now, I invite you to bring to mind your biggest dream or goal that you can imagine for yourself. You know, when you think about what is bringing you to the Women's Center of for Business, Women in Business, what is the business that you're dreaming about? You know, Estelle, I love in the beginning how you wanna create a service of providing graveside maintenance for people, and just more when you think about it, more in terms it's in terms of helping people know that the markers of their loved ones is not being forgotten, that even if they're not able to be there, that just that spot is being treated with a sense of reverence, and that it matters. I mean, what a remarkable idea and value that you're bringing to the marketplace, and who knows where it's going to go. But whatever it is, whatever your dream is that brought you to the Washington Center for Women in Business, bring it to mind right now. Really allow yourself to see your biggest dream, your biggest possibility. And then I'm going to encourage you to not just limit it to your business, that you are a full spectrum being, and that there are other areas of your life, your health, your relationships, your vocation, this is your business, and then your freedom on your calendar and your checkbook. Bring those images to mind that absolutely light you up and scare you to death all at the same time. Use this amazing faculty of your imagination. See it, play around in it. Y'all got it? I'm looking at you. Ayanya, am I saying that correctly?
Close, it's Ayana.
Ayana, oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
But raise your hand if you can see it. If you can see this dream that you've been playing with that brought you to this training in your imagination. Well, here's the thing I want you to know. You're meant for that. That is your life coming to get you. And I want to show you how to bring it from the realm of your imagination into the facts of your life. Oop. Here's what I want you to know. You are this unlimited being created with unlimited potential. It's breathtaking how powerful we are. And you are designed to live an abundant, purpose-filled life. You are built for that. You are built to continue to grow and evolve and discover new elements about yourself. And that every step along the way, you are designed to live a rich, full, abundant, purpose-filled life. Now, here's the thing. You've heard this before, right? This is not new information that I'm providing for you. And when you look at your current life, the very fact that you have a computer or a phone that you can participate in this, Angie, you're in a car, so you have a car, every single one of us, when you look around at your current life is good. It's good. And yet there's something more that's seeking expression through you. And you've heard all this before, yet no matter how good it is, there's still something missing. There's something so much more for you to do and to give, but you just may not know how. And you might have tried it before, but it hasn't quite reached the level that you long to express, you long to have in your life. I get it. I've been there. So I'm the short one without a shirt. I was kind of flashy then, still a little flashy now. But I get this. I get having a good life. You look around, it's a good life. And yet having this deeper desire for something bigger, for something more. In fact, I had an initiative that a desire that I really wanted to bring to fruition. I've been a student of universal law, which I'm sharing with you here, for decades. I found it at a very dark point in my life, learned it, applied it. My life got off the chart better. It was crazy how much better my life got. And yet there was still something missing for me. There was still something that I knew, something more that I knew I was being asked to discover and to create. And I was applying everything I knew how I was applying. And I reached a certain level, and it was a good level, but it was nowhere near what I knew was possible. And I went out and I got help with marketing, and I got help with sales, and I got help with culture. And all of that is important, but it did not give me the breakout results that I was longing for. And then there was one particular initiative where I just poured my heart and soul into, thinking that this was going to be the thing to bust the energy wide open. Raise your hand if you've done that. If you've poured energy into something thinking that this was going to be the thing that was going to bust the energy free. Anybody? Was I the only one? Thank you, Estella. Well, and the thing about it is that it didn't. It was okay. Like, my life was okay. But I was tired of okay just being okay. I was tired of being good enough being good enough. I was stuck. And the thing about it is that it was a good stuck. I was stuck at a good stuck. But stuck is stuck. And I got to tell you, stuck stinks. And I remember feeling the pain deep enough, the frustration deep enough, and fighting with those voices in my head enough to say, I was at that point. Do I keep going with this thing, or do I just hang it up and just be happy with what I have? I am really grateful that there was something deeply profound that rose up inside of me and said, no, you've got the dream. There's got to be a way for you to achieve it. And that's when I made a decision, the kind that you don't back up from. And as a result of this decision, I have discovered literally a paint by numbers spiritual success system that has allowed me to fundamentally transform my life. And this is what I now get to offer you. So here are my results. As a result of really digging in and discovering the system, I have built an amazing business that I know that, this is what you're here for. And at the height of my frustration, I was serving maybe 50, 60 people annually. I now have the honor of serving the dreams of thousands of people around the world. And my income, and we're talking about building business. My income in an industry where less than 10% ever cross the six-figure mark on an annual basis, my income has grown to a level that allowed my husband to retire 7 years early. And we're not tapping into our retirement. We're building the life based on what my business is doing. We moved to Southern California. We loved living in Southern California, and now we're on to our next iteration. We're actually in the process of getting our house ready to put on the market because we're moving to Tucson because we decided that that's what we would love next. That rich friendships, better health, love the work that I get to do. Every area of my life has improved radically. In fact, I have to look through a telescope to see where I was before. I love the fact that I now get to give tens of thousands of dollars to organizations that are deeply meaningful for me. It was one of the things that, two reasons why I wanted to grow my vocation was because I wanted to have a bigger impact. I wanted to have a bigger impact with my work, and I wanted to have a bigger impact with my wealth. And I am so grateful that the work now allows me to contribute to organizations that are deeply meaningful for me at wonderful, delicious high levels. So when you think about, and there's one of the organizations that I have the honor of being able to support, that the woman in red, her name is Cynthia Kersey, and she runs the Unstoppable Foundation. So let me back this up. So when you think about your life, That's my dream, right? Those are my images. When you think about your life, what's the story we're telling about your life? Because here's the thing I want you to hear. The results are great. I love my results. But the real gift that comes out of stepping into something beyond anything that you've ever known for yourself before, stepping into that life force energy, that power that's showing up in the form of your dream. You get the results, but the purpose of your dream is not to achieve. It's not a checklist that you're checking off and saying, check, 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 achieve that, achieve that. The purpose of your dream is to help you discover even more of your magnificence. Go back to what I said at the very beginning of how you are this unlimited being with unlimited capacity to create. You will never know that. You will never discover that about yourself or the next layer about yourself unless you are reaching for something beyond anything that you've ever known for yourself before. The purpose of your dream is not to get things. It's to grow you. It's for who you become in the process. And this is what we're up to today. All right, so here are my intentions in the time that we have together. Number one, I want to help you begin to design a vision for a life and a business that you love. Let's start designing something that you love. I want to give you the tools to build a rock solid belief in you and the power that animated you so you can do this. I want to show you how to know your next step. Now, here's my promise to you. We've got about 34 minutes left. I have a timer here, Robin, so I know exactly how much time I have. My promise to you is I'm going to pour into you. I'm going to give you everything I can in this very short amount of time. And then for those of you that are interested, there are ways that I will share with you of how we can keep this going. Okay, so I talked about a system. So here is a 3-step formula. I have a 5-step formula that when we have a longer period of time together, we dig into. Here's a 3-step formula that I've abbreviated for shorter presentations like this. Number one, design your dream. You have to know what it is that you're building. Number two, you want to build a bigger believing. You want to know that you can do it. And then number three, activate your brilliance. You put it all together and bam, you are living your dream. All right, so we're going to dedicate just a few minutes just to get a sense of where you currently are. So in order to know where you want to go, you need to know where you are. So we're going to do what's called an aliveness inventory. Now, again, when we have a longer period of time, we get into this more deeply, and I want you to touch this part of you. So there's 2 signals from your soul that I want you to pay attention to. One of them is the longing, that there's more that you want. And then there's the signal of discontent. And this is one that people oftentimes will avoid. But that edge of, I wish it were different. That's your life force energy it's trying to get your attention. So you want to pay attention to your discontent as well. Now, as I shared earlier, there's 4 areas I want you to consider. When I work with people, we work with it's a full spectrum life, because I don't want you to build a rocking business at the expense of your health and your relationships. That you have a highly successful business when all areas of your life are working. And so your 4 areas that I want you to look at are your health, your relationships, your vocation, and your freedom in your time, on your calendar, and in your money. So when you think about your health, so what we're going to rank these 1 to 5 in terms of aliveness. And I know I've got the word satisfaction there, but I want you to replace the word satisfaction with aliveness, because we're not after just living a satisfied life. We're about living a rich, fulfilling life. So 1 being you're just not happy with it at all, and 5 being, oh my gosh, it couldn't get any better. So think about your health, your vibrancy, your aliveness, the way you feel in your body, the way you feel when you wake up, how well you sleep, your energy, say at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 1 to 5, where are you in your health? I'm going to invite you to physically write a number down. Now, look at your relationships, the depth, the breadth, the intimacy, of your relationships, the fun in your relationships, the ease in your relationships, whether it's friendships, a beloved, your clientele as you're building out a business, family members. Where are you in your aliveness with your relationships? 1 to 5. Now, how about your vocation, your business? That's what brought you here, is that you are wanting to build a business. Where are you in your aliveness in relationship to your business? Do you love what's happening in your business? Would you love more of your business? Are you working so hard that you don't even have time for yourself? Would you love team members that light you up when you get a text message from them on your phone? Where are you 1 to 5 in terms of your vocation? And then your freedom on your calendar and your checkbook. The thing I want you to know about your calendar is that your calendar is the energetic blueprint of your life. The way you are relating to your calendar tells you how you are relating to your life. So when you see things on your calendar, you see the frequency of it, the length of it, the actual activity, how much of it is on there. Do you come alive in the face of your calendar? 1 to 5. Does your calendar tell you what to do, or do you tell your calendar what to do? And then with your money, do you play the money may I game? Do you go to your checkbook to ask permission as to whether or not you can do something? Or do you have a sense of the depth and the unlimitedness of abundance in your life? They say, wow, I would love that. Let me tap in to see what I can do to create that. Where are you in terms of your freedom on your calendar and in your checkbook? Write those numbers down. Now, I encourage you, circle the 2 lowest numbers and answer these 2 questions. How long has the discontent been there? Think about how long has the discontent been there? And then the second question, what's it costing you to stay where you are? If you're in the same conversation a year from now, what's the cost to you? All right. I can see Ayana, Beth, Angie, and Estella. So raise your hand if you have more than one or more area that you want to grow in. Anybody? Yeah. Ayana, how about, there you go. You're in really good company. And here's the thing. You are a growing, evolving being. So there's always going to be something that's going to be asking you to discover more for yourself, from you, more for life. So you're in the right place. All right. So let's look at, I've been talking about this system. Let me take a drink of water here. I've been talking about this system of transformation, the system, the spiritual success system of how to build a life that you love. So we're going to look at what many people refer to as universal laws, or the laws of the universe. These are the laws that govern our results. Okay, so Andrew Carnegie, love quoting Andrew Carnegie. He was an amazing businessman. I get it that he's a man. But he spent the first half of his life accumulating his wealth, and then the second half of his life giving it away. So here's what he says. He says, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. Any idea. Andrew Carnegie understood that our thoughts, our ideas, have unprecedented power. Here's what he had an understanding. These are the cause of our results. First, we have these things called thoughts. Now, when I'm talking thoughts, I'm talking images. We think in images. If I say front door, you see your front door. If I say car, you see your car. You probably don't see C-A-R. Here's the thing about our thoughts and our feelings. Thoughts then activate feelings. These are literal physiological sensations that get triggered in your body. So you're imagining something in this realm of your imagination with your thoughts. You are now activating feelings in relationship to those thoughts. Here's the reason why this is important. Those feelings literally are vibrating at a frequency. There's literally a wave of energy that is being emitted from you that is reflective of what you are predominantly thinking and what you are predominantly feeling. That wave of energy that's being emitted from you has a mass to it. I mean, we can measure it. It now literally is going out into this field of universal energy where there are waves of what quantum physics called unformed energy hanging out in superposition. And in some fantastical way, this energy then now organizes according to your predominant thoughts and feelings. You are the organizing pattern for this energy. Another way of putting that is that you are the organizing pattern for your life. It's the basic explanation of the law of attraction, which is actually a secondary law. The real law is the law of vibration, that you are emitting and you are informing, and then you are attracting everything that matches what you predominantly are thinking and feeling. The other element with this that most people miss is that your predominant thoughts and feelings define how you see yourself. It defines your identity. And the reason why this is so important is that you will never go beyond the way you see yourself. And this is going to be really important as we go through this. And so as you're building out a business, a key piece of this is to be able to see yourself at the next level of success, to be able to identify as the woman at the next level of success. The reason why this is important is because you will only entertain ideas that match your identity. So you will either hear or not hear these unlimited ideas around you. You will see or not see unlimited opportunities, which will then inform the actions that you take and the way in which you take your actions, which then create your results. Here's what I love about this. Quantum physics is now proving what spiritual masters have been teaching throughout the ages. This is what spiritual masters have been teaching us, is that we have this unprecedented power to create. You are unlimited in your capacity to create. And this is the creative process. What I laid out right here, this is the creative process. All right, so what is it that causes our thoughts? It's where you place your attention. And in any given moment, your attention has been captured by something. All right, so what's between you and your dream? The gap. The gap is between you and your dream. So another way of looking at this, here are your current results. You've got wonderful results and you have dream results. Now those blue lines, those represent lines of frequency. The gap is you growing into the woman that matches, that has caught up with your dream, that you have built in an identity that your dream is now normal for you, that your current dream is beyond anything that you've ever known for yourself before, if it's big and bold enough, and I hope it is, because that's what you're created to do, and it's not routine. You have a routine that you live in. Your dream demands that you build out a new routine. You need to be able to identify with a new routine of greater degree, of more wealth, of dealing with more people, of levels of complications, not complications, but more complex levels that your business is asking you to step into, while maintaining rich, deep relationships and a healthy body and a life-giving schedule. That's growth. That's the gap that you have to move through. Now, most people will step into the gap and become overwhelmed, and you might get into it a little bit, but very few people really understand the process of navigating that gap, because it's not just about taking action and checking off your to-do list, but it really is about fundamentally transforming into the woman who now sees herself, who has given consent to a higher level of possibility and success for herself. So 2 questions that you have to ask yourself. Number 1, am I ready? Am I ready to do this? And here's your answer. No, you're never going to be ready. The thing about your dream is that your dream is a disruptor. I want you to physically write that down. My dream is a disruptor. So we're never ready to step into something that's going to disrupt our current life. You cannot build your dream and maintain your current routine. You have to build out a new normal. You have to build a new normal. So the question is, and I got to fix this slide so you don't see the question right away. The question is, am I willing? Am I willing to do what's required in order to grow into that even more amazing woman that I am created to be, in order to create and live in my dream? It's one thing to create your dream, but you want to be able to catch up in order to be able to live in your dream. I'll never forget the first month I generated that month what I used to do annually. My whole insides just went crazy, that it was like, oh my gosh, I'm in California. Am I going to pay my taxes? Are they going to come after me? What if I build a life to that's dependent on this? I mean, I was excited but terrified. And I realized is that I had to learn how to be the woman who knew how to navigate with that new degree of growth and financial abundance. And that may sound like a no-brainer, but that's the stuff that will grab you and cause you to live in the status quo. That's the stuff that every single time unaware will pull you right back to the status quo, and you're trying to figure out, well, what happened? Why am I not moving as quickly as I would like to? Or why do I keep bumping back? So am I ready and am I willing? All right, so that then leads us to the first step. So here's the first step. So as I'm sharing the process with you, I want to introduce you to a woman by the name of Kelly. Met Kelly actually almost 4 years ago now. An amazing woman, highly successful in what she was doing. She was at the top of her career, top of the ladder in her particular career. She was highly respected, lots of accolades for what she was doing. But every time she went to her job, she had to check her soul at the door. She loved it until she didn't, and it was just no longer feeding her. The thing about Kelly was that Kelly was the financial support of her family, that her husband didn't work. She was providing benefits. She has 2 kids. So insurance was under Kelly. So she had a lot of responsibility and a lot riding on stepping out and starting her own business. I mean, there was it was a big gap for Kelly. And nevertheless, she stepped in. She said she wanted help, which I'm thrilled that I got to help her. And then we got going. And so the first thing you need to do, so if you really believe that your thinking has something to do with your world, and I'm assuming you're still here, so that you believe that your thinking has something to do with your world, your first step is to design your dream. You have to know what it is that you want to build. And you don't want something that you think you can do, that you hope you can achieve. You don't want a watered down version of your dream. You want a dream that absolutely lights you up, because remember, you're getting into that gap. And in order to get in and stay in that gap, you got to have something that you are on fire with. So we do this by working with the most powerful, profound, holiest of all questions that you can work with, which is, what would I love? What would I love? What would I love to do, have, give, be? What would I love? So I'm going to encourage you. Let's play with this. I'm going to encourage you to go 3 years out, not because it's a strategic plan and not because you may not achieve it sooner, but there's a part of you that has a belief about what you can achieve in a year. It's not so sure about 3 years. So let's go out to 2024, February 2024. It all worked out. You love your life. You love your life. And you and I are in a conversation. I'm going to be in Tucson by then because we're moving within the next 6 weeks. So let's say you come down to Tucson to get out of Spokane. You all are in Spokane, right? Olympia.
Yeah, we're in Olympia. Well, some of us are.
Olympia.
I think we're all over
Okay.
Washington. Yeah.
Well, you're up in Washington. And so let's say you want to get out of Washington's weather. And so you come hang out with me. There's a beautiful resort down there and we're having coffee and you're telling me about your life. You love your life. You love your life. What's the conversation that you would love to be having about your life? I'm going to encourage you to really let yourself go there. Really let yourself play in that possibility. If you took all limits off, what's the conversation that you would be having about your life? What are you sharing about your health? What are you sharing about the nature of your relationships? What are you sharing about what's happened in your business and the rhythm of your business? And what are you sharing about what's happening on your calendar? That when you look at your calendar, it's like, oh my gosh, I love the rhythm of my calendar. I love what's happening in my life as reflected in my calendar. And what are you sharing about what's happening in your checkbook? Bring those images to mind. Play in those. I want you to, there's a couple of keys that I really encourage people to work with. I encourage you to write it. First of all, ground it in gratitude. I am so happy and grateful now that. And then you want to physically write your vision out as if it's already happened. When you're in a conversation between you and this quantum field, the quantum field is going to organize according to what you have your attention on. Remember, go back to what I said earlier. What causes your thoughts? It's where you place your attention. When you have a dream that you are placing attention on as if it already happened, you are literally building an energetic signature, an energetic relationship where you are communicating to this life force energy that you're in for it. And your attention moves to the evidence that in fact it's happening. And this now becomes that strong signal that this energy then organizes around. So you want crystal clear detail. You want, it's already happened, because here's the thing, in the invisible realm, it's already here. The very fact that you can think it up is evidence that it's already here. It's already here. You're so grateful for it. And then you want to write it out in crystal clear detail that your whole system lights up in the face of it. And so that's a key piece of work that I do with people, is really helping you clarify your vision. So when you work with it, you light up like a Christmas tree and you're building a believing in it. And then this is what you're working with every day, every day, every day. People, I spoke last week for a networking group of financial executives, and somebody asked me, how often do I have to work with my vision? That's like saying, how often do I have to deal with gravity? The thing about it is that you're always running a vision. You can't turn this off, just like we can't turn gravity off. We're moving out of a house. We have, furniture items on the second floor. I can't just take them and throw them out my balcony window. That we have to walk it down, and hope gravity suspends, right? Let's suspend gravity for a minute. It's the same thing with the power of your imagination. If you don't get anything else from this today, I want you to get this. You are always in a conversation with this invisible field. You are always visioning something. The question is, are you visioning that which brings you most alive? Or are you visioning something, the default? Absent an intelligent design, the only thing the energy can do is organize according to the default. Your dream becomes the intelligent design, and it informs who you now need to grow into. All right, so this question, what would I love, is imperative. Okay, now I work the law of attraction, I dream and vision. Why doesn't it always work for me? So one of the things that I watch people do is water down your desire. That you start thinking about it, and when you think about really getting going with it, you think about times in the past when it didn't work. It feels like it's too much. It feels like it's too much work. You wonder if it is going to work. You wonder what other people are going to think. You wonder who you're going to have to leave behind. All of those things literally start watering down your desire. When that happens, remember, you got to get through that gap, right? And that gap is beyond anything that you've ever known for yourself before. Remember the two questions? Am I ready? You're never going to be ready to disrupt your life and establish a new normal. Am I willing? You will not be willing to enter in and stay in the gap unless you have a burning desire. Otherwise, when you let your desire be watered down, you become hesitant in your actions. You get disappointed when things don't move as quickly or as accelerated, as big as you want them to. You get frustrated, you slow down, and this is when you get stuck. This is what stuck looks like. So think of it this way. Water at 211 degrees. Now, you all are close to Canada, so in case we have any Canadians, 211 degrees Fahrenheit. What do you got? You got really hot water, right? It's really hot water. Not boiling yet. 212, when water hits the 212 degrees Fahrenheit, now water is boiling. And here's what happens between 211 and 212. You have what's called a phase change. This is when water turns from liquid to steam. And the power of this is that you can gather that steam and light up entire cities. That 1 degree difference in relationship to your dream makes all the difference between kind of sort of going for your dream with one foot on the brake or playing full out and giving it everything that you've got. You need a dream at 212 degrees in order to light up the world and take your breath away. You need a burning desire. All right, so let's look at, in the last few minutes, how do you build a desire? So this clear dream and letting yourself have a dream is paramount for moving forward. So how do you build a desire? Number one, understand where that desire is coming from. That desire is not your desire. That is your life force energy seeking a richer, freer, fuller expression through you and by means of you. Remember, you are this unlimited being with unlimited capacity to create. It's crazy how powerful you are. But all that untapped capacity lies dormant unless there's a reason for you to wake up to it. Your dream is the catalyst for you to wake up to more of who you are created to be. So your dream is not you going to the universe and saying, oh my God, I really want this. It's the universe coming to you and saying, I really want this through you, to you, and for you. This dream is being given to you as a profound gift to help you discover more of your amazingness so you can relish that amazingness and bring that amazingness, the gift of you and even greater you, to the people around you. When you say yes to the prayer of the universe to you, you are saying yes to your highest form of contribution that is yours to bring. So how do you build a burning desire? You stop looking at it as something that this is you and you got to figure it out. And maybe this isn't really what you're supposed to do. And understand that this is the universe's prayer to you. This is the universe saying, I need you to do this. And then to work with the question, what would I love? Understanding that it is the most profound question that you can ask. It takes courage and vulnerability to be willing to ask that question, what would I love? I mean, really listen deeply. But when you are in that conversation of what would I love, you realize that you're in a conversation with love itself, seeking to express more through you. That your dream is your love delivered to our world. And so you learn how to really listen deeply to the question, what would I love? All right, so here's the other thing that gets in the way. I want you to understand the difference between condition-based thinking and vision-based thinking. So you're really, you're jamming on what would I love? What would I love? And understanding that this desire is a gift from the universe to you. Then you put it into motion, right? And what happens is that you start looking around your world and start noticing all the things that will not work, that you start stacking all the evidence of why you need to slow it down, why you need to water it down, why it won't work, that you look to your facts to give you permission. If you really believe that your thinking has power to it, then you will come to understand that this power of your vision, it is the most potent, powerful energy in the entire universe. And it overcomes whatever any condition may be. But the mastery is to trust the vision over what your world is telling you. Now, the reason why this is so important is because it will cause you to start thinking differently. All right, the other thing that you bump into, and I'm running a little bit out of time, so I'm going to go through this a little more quickly and then share with you how you can participate in a longer time. So people get confused between condition-based thinking and vision-based thinking. So that's one thing that will stop you. The other thing is that you literally have a ceiling for how much good you will allow yourself in your life. You have a success ceiling. Doesn't matter what that ceiling is. It can be super, super, super good, but it's still a ceiling. And what people do, go back to that, the condition-based versus the vision-based, people go and try to arrange their world outside in order to succeed without addressing that you actually have a limit to how much good you will allow yourself to experience. It's like going to a thermometer and lighting a match underneath the thermometer, hoping that it's going to heat the room up. You don't go to a thermometer, you go to the thermostat. That's that internal identity that I was talking about earlier, where you actually see yourself as a person with a higher degree of abundance and success and fulfillment. You have to work on literally training yourself to allow more good in your life. So you do that by building a bigger believing. One of the things that I work on very extensively is by learning how to do what's called literally zip yourself into the skin of the woman who already did this. And you do that by asking, if you did this, how would you feel? You would feel amazing now. You have this amazing superpower to generate feelings that match what you're building rather than what you currently are living. And then you ask yourself, the woman who did this, how does that woman walk in the room? How does that woman have a phone call? You are literally building a relationship with that woman before a single thing in your world changes. The power of this is that you learn to think differently. You're doing what's called generating state, where you're now able to entertain and see and act on big, bold ideas and magnetize everything you need in order to succeed. But it's the discipline, because that gravitational pull, your current beingness, your current identity is so wired into you. Your current way of thinking is so wired into you that it's the granular, rigorous discipline of thinking from vision and thinking from the person who did this and acting accordingly over and over and over. So you activate your brilliance by knowing your next step. If I really believe this dream was possible, what is an action I would take right now? And then another question, what can I do where I am from what I have? This is when you tap into how sourced and resourced you are. So Kelly, We worked all of this with Kelly, and she applied it rigorously over and over and over again. Not only did she leave her job, her concern was that she wanted to replace her salary, but she was right at high five figures. She has built a business in a capacity that she absolutely loves, allows her to be at home with her kids. They take monthly family adventures. This is when she took her family to Thailand to meet her family on a spur of the moment. And she is now generating multiple six figures as she is doing what she loves, supporting her family. But here's the thing that I absolutely love about Kelly's story. It's not just what she created, but it's who she's become in the process. She is this amazing, confident, poised, deeply grounded woman who knows how to listen to herself now. And we're going deeper. I mean, she keeps saying yes to me, but yes to herself is who she's saying yes to. But learning how to listen deeply to her own voice of inspired insight, trusting it and following it as she continues to build out a life that she loves. All right. So how do I keep this going? So if you want what I just shared in a written article form, I've written it all out. So you didn't have to, you've got your notes, but you can also have it written out with exercises. Just go to FeliciaSearcy.com/gift and sign up for that. The other thing I'm going to invite you to, I know this is short notice, but this was fast. I had about 45 minutes. Tomorrow, I'm doing a free masterclass. The only thing I ask is that you make a charitable contribution to something that you believe in. Tomorrow, 9:30 to 12:30 Pacific time, we're going to take a deep dive into what you heard today. Where, you'll hear many of the same things, but we're going to be able to dig into them much more deeply. Go to FeliciaSearcy.com/dreamlife. And I would love to have you join me tomorrow, where I can really dig deeper into this, wrap my arms around you, help you see where you're bumping up against some things, join an amazing community of like-minded people that are as deeply committed to their dreams as you are. And let's really put some rocket fuel to you and get you going. All right. So famed psychologist Alfred Adler once said that he gave thanks for the idea that sought to use him. I give thanks for the dream that seeks to use you, because here's what I know. When you say yes to what brings you most alive, not only are you served, but truly we are all served. This is how you bring your highest contribution to the face of our planet. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Felicia. That was wonderful. Do we have any questions? We have about 4 minutes if we have questions for Felicia. Felicia, did you provide any contact information that you wanted everyone to have?
Yeah, I'm putting the link for that's for the masterclass tomorrow. And then if you want to get the free gift, oops, hold on a second. I'm putting this in the chat. That's for the free gift. And if you just want to shoot me an email and set up a time to talk, I don't have my calendar up to date. Well, I do. Anyway, if you want to just reach out and have a conversation with me, shoot me an email and we'll get something on the calendar. Next couple of weeks are fairly full, which is why I didn't bring my calendar link. But I can rearrange some things if you all want to do that.
And you're moving, so you're pretty busy.
And we're moving. Yes, and this is what I love to do. And so if you want to have a conversation, just let me know and we'll find a time.
Great. Thank you so much, Felicia, again for being here. And thanks for everyone who joined us. Just so as a reminder, you can reach out to the WCWB if you have any questions about any of our resources. And we're here the first and third Thursday of every month for different Let's Talk Business episodes. I will have the recording sent to everyone that attended of this episode, and it'll also be put on our website in the Let's Talk Business library. So if we don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and conclude. I hope that everyone has a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
It was great being with you all. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.